was actually really important to me. But I tell people this story. So, what year did you quit?
Me,
Yeah,
um, sophomore year.
sophomore year. It
Yep.
was like halfway through the season,
Yep.
and obviously we liked you on the team and all that good stuff. And you pulled me into my office. I'm sure you were super super nervous, and
Yep.
that's not a comfortable conversation to have. And I just remember like my high school years when someone would quit, or like you always felt like the coach didn't like you. If you went up to the coach and you said you were hurt, you were like, not, the coach didn't like you anymore, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And so walk me through your mindset of like you're about to tell me you're about to quit the team. Do you remember that
Uh,
situation?
ye- I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be, but we were pretty cool and like you understood the situation
Yeah.
and like once I like realized that you like knew what was going on and like how I felt, then I was
Hmm.
like then I just had to tell you like a man, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
wasn't like I was obviously nervous. Like I didn't want you to be mad or nothing, but
Yeah. And I just remember understanding from the jump what it was, because I remember Nick had to quit in his JV year playing basketball and stuff.
yeah,
So with that context, I kind of knew like, all right, like it's you don't want to quit. I know you didn't want to quit. I know you enjoyed
no,
playing basketball, and I knew you liked being around us. So instead of doing what I think a lot of other coaches would be like, you know, like, all right, peace, dude, like pretty much. And I just remember telling you like, hey, I understand that you want to quit. If you want to quit, that's okay. Like we're still boys, we're still
yeah,
friends. If there's any time you want to come to practice, if there's any time you want to sit on the bench, if there's any time you just want to come into the locker room, you're still part of the team.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and I
That's
and
true. I do remember that.
and I get it. And I because I wanted you to feel like, you were, just because you're not on the team, you're still part of the team if you wanted to be. So I
Yeah,
always I always kept that open to you. And um because I know as a young kid, that's a really tough situation, a hard situation, and I just wanted to make sure that you still had like a safe place to be if you needed it.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And I did. I definitely took you up on the offer. I went to a couple practices and stuff,
Hmm.
but also like what helped me and what you helped me with was is first and foremost like you always preached like grades in school first and
Hmm.
then basketball. Like that
Yeah.
was your big thing. So like once I told you the situation and I had to focus, like you were cool with it.
Hmm.
And then I realized like, all right, like he actually does get it. And then I didn't feel too bad about it. And then I showed up to a couple practices after asking, and then I think I sat at a game with you once or
Hmm.
twice, home
Hmm.
games, something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, it ended up working out. So for me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to support you,
Yeah,
whichever way you needed it. So
yeah,
I still remember that. I can still see it like in my mind, like
yeah,
you sitting there in the office, like I could still see that time. Um, but yeah, that was, I've only had, I think I only had two players quit, for multiple reasons. You were one, and then someone was the other. But I think I handled it both in the same way. Like, hey man,
yeah,
like I'm not, no one's making you be here. Um,
yeah,
still, still care about you. Still want you to do the best. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that was and that makes it even more awesome that you're here today, because
yeah,
and we're still talk today, because I think that if I was a jerk and I was just like, what, why are you quitting on us, don't be a quitter,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like that would have been a super negative impact on you
yeah.
and all those other things.